Hi, friends. In our time together today, I want to underline and remind us of the importance of exercises that help us grow as whistle playing musicians. Things like just playing a scale, or long notes, or octave jumps, whatever the case, or practicing runs and triplets, practicing rhythms depending upon specific types of tunes. Uh, the opportunity for scale exercises or just exercises is almost limitless. Um, there are definitely standards, like there's just playing a scale. And go all the way up, go back down, but even just the way you could use that simple scale, playing every note on your whistle, you could use it for long notes. You could play quickly. You could turn the scale into triplets. You could turn it into runs. You could turn it into a hornpipe rhythm. You could practice your ornamentation. There are so many things you could do on that one simple scale. So every scale that we use for exercise provides us with multiple opportunities to increase and enhance our skills. I have a skill. I like to call them skill scale exercises, and I've got a whole playlist of them. They're always free for you. I'll put a link at the end of this video to that playlist. It's really important for us, and I'm going to talk about in a moment different ways to use these exercises. And I also want to encourage you to create your own, because there's no end of the exercises, and I don't know all of your needs. I know mine, and I can guess at the normal things, like playing a scale, like I just did. So normal scale exercises, my playlist includes those, would be things like that, playing the scale, playing it in various ways. An arpeggio, which is playing the notes 1, 3, 5, walking up. And you could do that quickly, slowly, with ornamentation, in different rhythms. Then scale exercises like just run up and down, um, 3 notes back down. Those are standard scale exercises you'll find in any scale exercise book. And I provide those. You don't have to go find and buy a book. I've got them in my playlist for you. So those are the standards. Now, before I tell you about alternate scale exercises, I want to remind us again of the importance. I'm going to do it with a little quick story. And Cindy and I went to watch the University of North Carolina men's basketball team scrimmage themselves down in Cherokee, North Carolina. It was a lot of fun. Now, this is a top 25, preseason, top 25, top tier Division I basketball team. These are young men. And the women's team, if we had been watching them, they weren't there that day. The women's team, I describe them the same way. They're in the peak of health. They are amazingly fit. Before they played, they came out and they just shot around. They messed around with the basketball, shooting it into hoops. They're just out there, 15 minutes just messing around. Then they go through this specific set of stretches and other, like they did a hop and a skip the entire length of the basketball court to stretch out those muscles. Then they took a big step, and then they stretched out their legs. They laid on the floor and they stretched. After that, they went through specific skills of doing a bunch of basketball things, feeding each other the ball, passing routines, getting people set for layups, and they all took turns doing it. Then they went and changed and got ready for the game. They're only playing themselves. Then they came back out and they ran some more, get warmed up, and then they played. Now, if 18, 21-year-old young men in the peak of their health need to do these things, how much more do I need to warm up before playing? Now, sure, playing is an act of warming up, but when I pick up a whistle, I run a scale. When I pick up a whistle, I'll run a scale, I'll do an arpeggio, I'll try some long notes, I'll get my breathing down, I'll see how my breathing is today. I get bad allergies sometimes, and like you hear me a little gravelly today. So I don't know how my breathing is today based on the pollens that are around, and I need to see. And then one whistle's different than another. These things, it's so important. And now, if you're older, like some of us are, it's good to do some finger stretches, especially if you're playing a low D whistle. Get those fingers warmed up, rub them a little bit. Those young men did all kinds of stretching exercises so they didn't cramp and they didn't hurt a muscle. It's so important. But these exercises aren't just about warming up. What you're doing is you're taking skills that you need to be a good whistle playing musician, and you're taking them away from a tune. You're pulling them off of a tune, and you're setting them over here, and you're focusing on this skill. Like running a scale, just the plain scale is a skill. It's just a skill. This is a skill. Those that I've pulled notes out of a tune and I'm focusing on them to develop a skill. So again, that's why I've got this playlist. So important for us. To work on very normal, specific things. Work on triplets. Work on octave jumps, something like that. Runs, work on note transitions, just all so important. Now, these skill scale exercises, I've got the standard ones, but then now and then when I introduce a scale exercise, I'll say this scale exercise is taken off of the hornpipe rhythm, and this scale exercise will help you with a hornpipe rhythm. Another scale exercise. This scale exercise is taken off of a slide or a jig or a reel style, and I want you to practice in that style. I'll also say, and here's what I really want to close with, and I want to give you a recommendation here. I recommend at times, and this is what I want to highlight at the end of our time together today, I recommend you create your own scale exercises. I know what I need to work on. You know what you need to work on. Before I give you an example, how do you find what you need to work on? Well, let's say you're playing a tune and your fingers fumble over a transition, or your fingers fumble over that octave jump, or you can't quite play that run fast enough. That is an opportunity for a scale exercise. Take that phrase, pull it out of the tune, and then create an exercise for yourself. you could just focus on that. As an example, I have an octave jump. At the beginning of Going to the Well for Water, it starts off A, F sharp, A, F sharp, A, F sharp, F sharp, E, D. Now, when I first learned Going to the Well for Water, I had a bit of a challenge with that phrase. So here's what I did. For myself, I pulled that 2-measure phrase out of the tune and I worked on it. And I played as slowly as I could, as fast as I could, whichever you want to say. And I tried to find clean note transitions between the A and the F sharp. And then I worked on my ornamentation on that run down. And then I realized I'm going to encounter something just like this in other tunes. So I'm going to pay attention to the A, F sharp. And I'm going to walk down one note and play the whole thing. And then walk down another note. Well, I started. See, you can. Now sure, it's going to require you to think. You're teaching yourself how notes work together. You're working on this transition. You don't have to be quick. And then after you walk down as far as you can, walk up. Okay, it was. Yep. So you could do that. This is all so important. Take a phrase. This is for you. You can make your own exercises. Take a phrase that's giving you grief out of a tune. Play that phrase, then play the same sequence of notes walking up. Play the same sequence of notes walking down. And you've made your own scale exercise that's going to help you develop that skill so that when you see it again, and whatever notes are included, you're going to be a better whistle playing musician. So my friends, take advantage of the standard scale exercises. Take advantage of that I provide. Take advantage of the custom ones I've made. Make your own. The one I introduced was maybe a little complicated. You could just do that. You could just do those first 4 notes. I got a little lost there. So make it as simple or complex as you want, but walk up and walk down and you're developing your skills. So what you want to do with a scale exercise, in summary, is you're taking skills you need to play well. Think of all those skills you need to play well. Breath control, note transitions, cleanliness of note tone, playing phrasings, octave jumps, all that stuff and more. You can take that, pull it away from a tune, Place it in a scale exercise you made for yourself. Sure, I provide standards, I provide some customs, but if you encounter a challenge, turn your challenge into a scale exercise and enhance your skills. I hope that's helpful, my friends. It's so important for us to do this. We were at a concert this past weekend, and guess what the orchestra did before they played? They warmed up, they tuned up, practiced sequences of the tunes they were going to work on. The basketball team, they warmed up, they stretched. Whatever it is, whatever discipline it is, the professionals are going to warm up, they're going to stretch, they're going to get ready. And I guarantee you, they're all practicing their scale exercises because you're pulling phrases that develop skills that when you encounter a tune, you don't have to learn the skill when you encounter that in a tune. You've already developed your ability on that skill. And that's why we return again and again and again to the standard skill exercises, because they keep us centered, they keep us balanced, they keep our skills focused. If you don't think of octave jumps and you don't have to play one in a tune for a month, you're going to find an octave jump in a tune and you're going to have a hard time with it. Keep your skills fresh through scale exercises. It's so helpful. I hope this helps, my friends. If so, please like the video. It helps YouTube know that we're helping each other. And if you're brand new and checking us out because of this conversation, please join our amazing community of folks learning to whistle together. Until next time, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling, my friends. And don't forget my playlist.